Good afternoon, guests and fellow Rotarians. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Gainesville meeting at the Cade Museum. Please remember to silence your cell phone. And if you are participating via Zoom, please register your participation by sending an email to info@rotarygainesville.org. And now for our song and Pledge of Allegiance, please welcome John Gregory to the podium.
We're going to sing God Bless America. Jordan? God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountain to the prairie to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all.
Thank you, John. And now for our invocation, Lori Vidal.
We do have a trio over there, and we are taking dates if you would like to book us. So please just talk to Tom. Tom's our booker, okay? Let's pray together. It is so refreshing to be around those who it seems just naturally engage others in a spirit of serving. And it is so unattractive to get stuck with those who seem to always be in it for their gain. When left to our own devices in life, we seem to naturally choose the self-serving option instead of the serving others option. So, how good it is to be here, continually encouraged to take up our banner and press forward with the call to service above self. What is the need? Where can I help? Renew our spirits today with a focus on the call to service of self. May we emulate the example of the Son of Man, who did not come to be served, but to serve and to give for others. I pray, amen.
Thank you. You may be seated. I do ask that guests and visiting Rotarians please remain standing to be introduced. A microphone will be brought around for introductions.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. This is Sarah Strickland, my guest. I'm Billy Dodd. She is my right hand and the reason that we have so many beautiful Cambodia auction items coming your way. So hope to see you next week, and welcome, Sarah.
Hello. Hello, Rotary members. I'm happy to introduce Phoebe and Richard Miles of the Cade Museum, and today they have guests of their own.
I would like to introduce Stephanie Couch and Rick Bacon. Stephanie Couch is from MIT Lemelson, is the inventor of Invention Education, and is here consulting with us how to take our invention education nationwide. And her partner, Rick, who is the CEO of a water technology company in Silicon Valley. Welcome.
Hi, my name is Andrea Boggiatto. I came from Italy. I'm a president of my own company. I'm a former state police officer, special unit in Italy. And my company works in police instruction, K9, anti-riot, and something like that. I recently moved here, so I work all around the world with Germany, Spain, South America, and something like that. And now I'm here and I want to serve in another way. I'm not a police officer here, but I want to serve with instruction for our law enforcement. Thank you so much.
My guest today is John, and he's the new Immigrant Affairs Manager for the city of Gainesville. And I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Thank you, Linda. As Linda mentioned, I'm starting a program for the city of Gainesville for Immigrant Affairs. The city of Gainesville, the county, and the school board. We all have immigrant liaisons, and we're building up a program, hopefully, to build enough resources to support our international residents in Gainesville. And mine's going to be a 2-year program, and by the end of this year, I'll have a 3-year program plan for what the city can do to help international residents. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Oh, I just wanted to mention his grandfather is a longtime Rotary member and was a district governor in India.
Thank you. Welcome.
I'm Don Robertson, and I have my wife Shirley as my guest today.
My name is Bill Zagel, otherwise known as Carol Zagel's husband. And I'm delighted to have my beautiful and talented wife with me here today.
Okay, Rotarians, my name is Eric Godet, and I just want to make sure we recognize some incredible guests that we have in our community, incredible leaders representing the Cotton Club and also former police chief, Tony Jones. I'll let John have the mic and introduce himself and pass it to the others.
Yes, Cotton Club Museum. John Reiskin is my name. I'm on the board of directors, and several directors are here. Also president of the Florida Free Speech Forum, co-chair of the Community Coalition for Older Adults, and several other organizations. I'll pass you to our former police chief.
Hi, I'm Tony Jones, and right now I'm retired and work some with the state's attorney's office in the Black on Black Crime Task Force. Still trying to serve this community.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Dolores Rentz. I serve on the board of directors of the Cotton Club Museum, and I am happy to be with you this afternoon.
Hello, everybody. I'm here on behalf of my sister, Vivian Filer, and I'm going to tell you my name, but you probably know me as Vivian Filer's sister. I'm Sarah Brown. I'm happy to be here.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Eric. I'm Barbara Magday Gordon, and I'm a member of the board of directors of the Cotton Club Museum and Cultural Center. I'm also president of the retired faculty of the University of Florida, and we're always looking for members. If you worked at University of Florida, Santa Fe College, or other institutions of higher education in this country, you may join.
Good afternoon. My name is Phyllis Filer. I am a board member of the Cotton Club Museum and Cultural Center, and I serve as the secretary. I also work with the Alachua County Library District.
I think we're over here now. I am pleased to have my wife here as my guest today, Allison Nordquist.
I'm Robert Mounts, current board president of the Matheson History Museum, and my guest today is our executive director, who has spoken here a couple of times, Caitlin Hoff Mahoney.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians and guests. David Gracie, I am pleased to introduce Miss Betty Alsobrook. Betty and her late husband, Al, raised 2 wonderful children. I've been in the Gainesville community a long time, forever. A practicing physician, a practicing attorney, and she has 4 grandchildren. Please welcome Betty.
Fellow Rotarians, Melanie Shore, it is my honor to welcome back, I'm going to call him Nick Z so that I don't misspeak, but a wonderful former Rotarian and attorney here in town. We're so glad to have him visiting our club again.
I'd like to introduce who most of you already know, Sherry Houston, Executive Director, Ronald McDonald House. She's also the president of the Sunrise Rotary Club.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Nancy Hart, and I bet you thought I didn't have a husband, but he's here today. His name is William Winter, and he just retired from the University of Florida College of Medicine. Thank you, Jesus.
Got one more.
Fellow Rotarians, I'm pleased to have with me today my caregiver from Jacksonville, who drove me down to the meeting today, Lynette Quest.
Welcome, everyone. It's truly a pleasure to have you join us today for the meeting. And now for our first announcement, Richard Allen.
Thank you. One more guest.
I'm Gordon Hubble, and I'm pleased to introduce my son, Steve.
Thank you, Gordon. Sorry we missed you earlier.
So we have a beautiful program today, so we're going to be really short on this, really brief. We just returned from Cambodia. I wish we could take all of you with us on the trip because it's just an incredible experience. You are surrounded by love every day, every moment of it, in the villages, with the village families, getting the help that comes from our Rotary projects. From the kids are just overwhelmingly sweet and enthusiastic and joyful in their love. And I just wish we could have all of you experience that directly. And until we can, next week we're going to be doing the Sustainable Cambodia auction. And that auction is what drives the funding that allows us to do those amazing projects and to help all those people. So thank you for that, and we look forward to seeing all of you next week.
Thank you, Richard and Susan. We look forward to next week's auction. And next, for our next announcement, Helen Gilstrom.
It's that time of year when the grateful Rotarians will start the Bread of the Mighty Food Bank contribution drive. As in the past, we do it now in December and in through the beginning of January, not to focus so much on the holidays, but to be there for the Bread of the Mighty in January, when people stop thinking about giving. Our goal this year is $6,000, which the Bread of the Mighty will turn into 36,000 meals. Coincidentally, 2024 is going to be their 36th anniversary, so we're kind of hoping to start the celebration early with them. Good news, $3,000 of the goal is already pledged in challenge grants, with blessings to Kathy Pierce and Southeast Car Agency. As you know, Bread of the Mighty is important to both of these Rotarians, and so we thank them from the bottom of our heart. We'll start collections next week. You're going to be able to contribute in several ways. There's a QR code, and we will send this to you. You can make your donation that way. Goes directly right in to the Bread of the Mighty Food Bank website to keep it easy. I know sometimes we do a juggle of what year you want your donation to post to, so that should help with that part. We'll also collect cash here. You can also do food and supply donations. There's a list of lovely things like canned goods, pasta, rice, peanut butter, cereal, granola bars, fruit cups, applesauce, cooking oils, paper products. In the past, some of you have loved to take your grandchildren out and get things. we'll be here. We'll be able to take that if you want to do that. So we look forward to working with you, and we'll do it for the next month and a half. Thank you.
Thank you, Helen. And now please welcome our president, Linda Reinhardt, to the podium.
Okay, a couple of more quick announcements. Dwight got tied up, so he asked me just to remind everybody, Seafood Spectacular is coming up. We have a work day this Saturday at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. this Saturday out at Hatchet Creek. He's holding up fingers. I'm hoping I'm counting correctly. And also, tickets are still on sale. Wes will be selling them over here afterwards. We've got a great lineup for food and beverage, and so it'll be a good time for everybody. The other thing is Ryan Thompson is busy planning our holiday party. That's on December 19th. Sign-up sheets are on your tables. As a reminder, family and children are invited to attend. Santa Claus is here, is going to be dropping by. So please let us know if you're going to be bringing any guests or any children so that we can plan meals appropriately. And with that, I'm going to ask Jay to come back up. In the tradition that we've been having these last few meetings, this week we're going to be recognizing our members that have achieved their Paul Harris +3 in the recent time frame. So again, for those of you that are not familiar with this, Paul Harris Fellow is a designation for individuals that have given up to $1,000 towards the foundation so that the Rotary International can do good in this world. If you reach the Paul Harris +3, that means that you've given at least $4,000 during your course of your membership. And again, it's a great honor that we have to recognize these people. So we're going to start with Tom Cousins. You know, Tom couldn't be here, but we're going to give his pin to his father, John. I saw John. Come on, John. Steve Elder. Steve. I don't think he could make it, but Paul Ferraro. Also could not make it, but Cotton Fletcher. Nancy Hart. Gordon Hubble. Also could not make it, John Pastore. Tammy Prince. Don Robertson. Doug Wilcox was also unable to make it. Greg Young. And Bill Ziegel. Finally, I'd also like to ask Betty Alsabrook to accept a Paul Harris Fellow +3 in memory of Al. Alsabrook. For those of you that may not be aware, Al Alsabrook was the president of our club from 1978 to 1979, and we unfortunately lost him in March of 2021, so he was never able to receive his pin in person. So thank you all, and let's give everybody a round of applause. Thank you guys so much. And with that, I'm going to turn the program over to Greg Young.
Thank you, Linda. What a big day today. I mean, all these people that have made it for this award today, for the Paul Harris Fellow Awards, but also for the Service Above Self Award, which is the major award we give every year. It's the most prestigious award we give annually. By the way, Dr. Mark Barrow, I didn't get to introduce you. You came in and I missed you. Now I see you. Welcome, Dr. Mark Barrow, as a guest today, Matheson History Museum. Well, I want to welcome everyone so much because this is a really special day. And I'm honored as past president to do this award. It's a tradition for past presidents to do this. And I especially want to welcome our guests that came here, especially for the Service Above Self Award today. I really appreciate the turnout. And that just goes to show you the love for the person that I think some of us may already be aware of, who is, we try to keep it secret, but it's really hard in this town to keep it secret like that. But just a little background. The Rotary Club of Gainesville was established in 1918. It's one of the oldest Rotary clubs in Florida. It has been awarding the Service Above Self Award to exceptional individuals who have performed great works in the community since 1984. Named after Rotarians E.T. and Vam York, who endowed this award in 2010 to give $1,000 to the Rotary International Foundation in honor of the recipient. Just like these people that just received the Paul Harris Fellow Awards, our recipient this year will also receive the Paul Harris Fellow Award and have made a donation of $1,000 to the Rotary Foundation. The phrase service above self, that is very special in Rotary. It is the international motto and represents the highest honor we can give, as I said. Our club is proud to present this award annually. Now, if we can get up to the second slide. This is some of our past recipients. And I would like to make a quick note to bring up those that are in the rooms, because I know we're a little tight on time. But going through the list, the first person I see on the list that I saw here today is Melanie Shore. Will you please come up, Melanie? Give her a hand. I don't know if Joel Islam was able to represent his family who were on the list, but I don't think I saw him. You can see the names up here. I don't want to read them all out because that'll take a while, but I want you to be aware of these people. I don't think Kathy Pierce was able to make it. Dr. Randall Caton, could you please come up? And Melanie, where are you? Oh. Come up over. Where would you like them? Here or there? Your call. Okay, up here, please. Thank you, Gil. Oh, Kathy Pierce is representing on Zoom, so let's give her a round of applause, please. Now, Ben Campen is here. Ben, would you rather remain at the table or come? Your call. We can recognize you wherever you are. And I want to thank Ben for making the special effort to come here from Jacksonville. And I'm very honored, and I'm sure our recipient will be as well. Let's see, the Freeman family. I saw the Freeman family here. Where are they? Come on up, please. Carolyn. Howard, come on up. So while they're coming up, also Tom and Susan Spain, they're in the room. Please come up. And these are all past recipients of the Service Above Self Award. We have many others that are not here or are deceased. We also, Wes, I'm not there yet. Did you go to the second page? Page 2. All right. To represent Brent Williams, who was a president of our club and past district governor, Naomi Williams, please come up. She's a member of our club. Carol and Bill Zagel. Carol and Bill, if you could please come up. Now Wesley Eubank, past president, past district governor. Do we have room over here? All right, let's see. Brian Nasworth was not able to make it today, but Sherry Houston is the president of his club. So just stand and say hi, Sherry. Richard Allen. Richard Allen, please come back up. Over here. And lastly, we have Charles Allen, I think, is here representing Charles and June Allen, who are last year's. Charles and June were recipients from last year, and so they're our most recent until today. So we're going to get a photo here, but as they're setting up the photo, you can see that these past recipients, I'm sorry, Davis. Davis, how did I miss you? Davis Rimbert. I even printed them out big. I'm sorry. Davis and Judy Rimbert, yes. I think that is our list up until today. So while they're getting their photo taken, you can see that there's a wide array of people. These people have represented good works in the community and many others that couldn't be here today. In the great tradition of past award winners, there is a great significance that these people have made and impacted Gainesville. Our recipient for 2023 has been excelling academically and doing good works in the community since their youth. I try to keep this as couched in general language until we get to the awarding of the official award. So thank you, all you guys. Yeah, this is a special day to get these recipients back here and being recognized for what they've done. Thank you all. Glad you could be here. Well, as I was saying, our recipient for 2023 has been excelling academically and doing good works in the community since she was very young. Growing up in Gainesville since the age of 6, this person's family, they were very involved in their neighborhood, their church, and their broader community. Over the course of their lifetime, service and helping others has been a guiding principle. Advocating for the voiceless and creating positive change has been a life mission. Overcoming many obstacles in life that could have stifled their ambition to grow and help others, our awardees' inner calling was to make their community better. And that has been a driving force in overcoming adversity and is an integral part of their character. Early life experiences involved being responsible for the care of siblings while both her parents worked. While our awardee's father worked as an automotive mechanic during the day, he also took night classes. Their mother worked long hours at the College Inn. Can we pull up the College Inn? Don't go there. I think that's later. That's later in the presentation. I changed the order at the last minute. Oh, there it is. Thank you. Now, I don't know how many of y'all remember the College Inn. Okay. Well, I've got some stories to tell you about that later in the presentation. But thank you, Benny. So anyway, she worked there in long hours as a cook, and then sometimes she had to walk home because the buses had already finished their routes. And that's what over there, as you know, where the College Inn was. Well, this family lived over here, so not far from Depot Park. Our recipient is known for their body of work over a lifetime. A consummate community organizer, a uniter, an educator, problem solver, historian, and storyteller, this person brings many talents to their good works. Always willing to get involved if the cause is worthy, this person has been involved in many initiatives that have made Gainesville a more inclusive and cohesive community. While a young working mother, our awardee and a group of other women community organizers worked to end segregation in Gainesville. The group worked in several areas, but mostly targeted health care, and are credited with desegregating Alachua General Hospital. As many of you may have guessed by now, this year's recipient of the E.T. and Van York Service Above Self winner is Miss Vivian Filer. And can you pass out? And if we could please pass out the programs. Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. Yes, she deserves that round of recognition. Thank you. And I hope she's able to be joining us on Zoom so that she's able to see us in this award. If not, we do record these and they do get posted on YouTube. So we're happy to share that with her at a later time. Unfortunately, she could not be. Oh, I see that she is on Zoom. So we are glad to have her in our presence. Now, this time actually I'd like to hold Vivian, if she wants to make remarks, I'd like to hold those as I got more stories to tell you here. Vivian exemplifies life of service above self in all aspects of her life, public, personal, and professional. Strong and compassionate advocate for the care of those who do not have a voice. She is a big advocate for that community. Born in Trenton, Florida, which I learned about recently, Vivian moved with her family to Gainesville at the age of 7. Vivian took on responsibility at an early age, as I said, for caring for her younger children. She was one of 5 daughters, and some of her fondest memories took place in the Spring Hill neighborhood, which is about 3 blocks over this direction to the east, and many of you may know where the Cotton Club Museum and Cultural Center is. That is the neighborhood where Miss Vivian grew up. She grew up in a time of racial segregation in this town. And Vivian recalls her first paid job at the age of 14 was that of a maid. She worked after schools and on Sundays, which helped Vivian develop her strong and tireless work ethic. Vivian attended segregated Lincoln High School when it was located at the site of the Aquin Jones Center, which many of you may know. That was the original Lincoln High School. She graduated in the National Honor Society in 1957. A member of the Lincoln Choir, Vivian expressed her love of music through voice and would later join with 2 of her siblings to form the Washington Sisters, an a cappella trio who would perform throughout this area. In her youth, Vivian developed an admiration for the first 2 African-American community nurses who served Spring Hill and the surrounding neighborhoods. Miss Rosa Lundy and Miss Flossie Maxey made such an impression on Vivian that she knew then and there a career in nursing was in her future. Because of her desire to help others through care and compassion, nursing felt like the right path forward for Vivian. Additionally, Vivian was inspired by Dr. Cullen W. Banks, a past Service Above Self Award recipient, and the doctor who served the Black community at that time. Vivian's desire to become a nurse resulted in her attending Santa Fe College, which allowed African American students to attend higher education. After completing her Associates of Arts degree at Santa Fe, she transferred to the then integrated, wasn't when she first started, but the then integrated University of Florida School of Nursing, where she received her Bachelor of Arts in Nursing in 1972. The first dean of the College of Nursing at UF and the head of nursing at Shands, Dean Dorothy Smith, became an iconic figure in Vivian's life. Vivian also received a master's degree from Nova Southeastern University and also the University of South Florida, where she got her nursing degree and master's. As part of her way of giving back, Vivian has served as a nursing professor or professional and for over 40 years in the community. I'd like to give her a round of applause for that. Beginning in 1963, through a group of Gainesville Women for Equal Rights was the name of the group. Vivian worked with others to fight segregation in our community and is credited, as I mentioned, with helping to segregate Alachua General Hospital. Other notable individuals on that organization included a member of our club, but I don't think is here today, Jean Chalmers, Shirley Conroy, Miss Vivian, Jan Ayers, June Littler, Ann McGee, Cora Robertson, Rosa Williams, and Bobby Zeman. As a member of the Mount Olive Methodist Episcopal Church, Vivian has long served on their board of trustees. She's a proud co-founder of the Spring Hill Neighborhood Association and the Greater Gainesville Black Nurses Association. Through her advocacy for the voiceless, Vivian has served on the Community Redevelopment Eastside Advisory Board, the African American Accountability Alliance, the Gainesville Women for Equal Rights, as a trustee of the Alachua County Regional Library, the Santa Fe Blunt Center Board of Directors, and a member of the Susan B. Anthony Board, among others. A shining example of Vivian's tireless leadership and tenacity is the Cotton Club Museum and Cultural Center. Located in the heart of the Spring Hill neighborhood, this once dilapidated building has been restored and now serves as a cultural center to highlight and celebrate the rich African American history of our community. One of Vivian's greatest loves is storytelling. She can often be heard sharing stories with audiences, both young and old, throughout the community. She gives much credit for her passion to her high school English teacher, Miss Frederica Jones, who was the wife of then Lincoln High School principal Aquin Jones. But she also credits her father for an early induction into the love of telling stories and poetry. In Vivian's view, the art and craft of good storytelling can not only entertain, but also teach valuable lessons. Recently, at Vivian's 85th birthday celebration, she received one of her most meaningful awards, that of Queen Mother, a recognition in the West African tradition that is bestowed upon esteemed women in the community in recognition for their good works, past, present, and future. One of those presiding over the ceremony was Dr. Kenneth Nunn, a UF professor in the College of Law and the husband of the late Patricia Hilliard Nunn, who Vivian admired dearly. Slide 5, please. This is Miss Vivian, as I mentioned, the love of storytelling.
Shivering by the wash tub, and I've been sweating in the fields. Many times I had to borrow, and I almost had to steal. But I held on to my patience, beat them soap suds into foam. All the time my heart was saying, he's gonna bring that college home. I got food enough for winter, plenty clothes to keep me warm. So you trot on off to college, then next June you bring it home. Don't you mind these folks here talking. They ain't half as good as you, and they's bound to laugh at good folks because that's all they knows how to do. So next spring, when the dogwoods blossom and bees begin to swarm, I'll be waiting for to see you when you bring that college home. I don't mean bring home the buildings or to wreck them good folks' place. Bring home Christian education and that high-toned college grace. You just grab them festers' habits, hold them tight through wind and storm. Then when you get your diploma, take them all, bring them home. Show the folks here that you got them by the speeches that you make, by the specs that you be wearing, and the way your coattails shade. But don't get above the people. Settle down and don't you roam. Be a light in your own village. Be a college here at home. That's it. And the authors are known.
As I said, she believed in storytelling to teach lessons, and that's a great story she tells. Another part of Vivian's life story is her work when she was in the pediatric unit at Shands Hospital as a connection to this establishment right here that we're in. She was part of a team of nurses, doctors, and researchers who were testing the ability to treat severely dehydrated infants using a new electrolyte drink, Gatorade. As most of us recall, the first test subjects were Gator football players, I think the JV at first. Then they've tried it on the varsity after they saw it worked. Then Dr. Cade worked with the staff there and through other research, and they started using it with children and have found it to be a very effective way to rehydrate children that had lost fluids. So that's another connection here in the community. It's amazing when you start connecting the dots in a community like Gainesville. There's a lot of interlapping and overreaching things here that come together. Let's see. We're moving on about the awards. Okay, Vivian, has won so many community awards, too many to mention here. However, I would like to say the one I mentioned about her being recognized as Queen Mother. I think that was a very touching award for her 85th birthday. It was done in the Guyana ceremonial tradition. In light of that award, Gainesville Mayor Harvey Ward declared June 6th, that day, Vivian Filer Day. Throughout her life, Vivian has been a tireless advocate for making the lives of others better. And as retired Police Chief Tony Jones here, glad to see you today, sir. This is a quote, "Mrs. Vivian Filer has been a bedrock in the community, particularly in Southeast Gainesville, in the areas of education, housing, whatever you name it, and now the completion of the Cotton Club Museum, where she transformed a warehouse into a historical place in Southeast Gainesville. And she's been like this all through her life." So next slide, please. Oh, here we go. The Cotton Club is a shining example of her tenacity and tireless work. The Cotton Club Museum and Cultural Center. I want to make sure I get that in there. But that's what it is. That's what it is. If you haven't been there, you need to go. And what I would love to do is set up with President Linda about having a fun and fellowship there. So all of our members, if you haven't been, you can learn more about this great establishment in town. It was this building, again, as I said, located not far from here, originally stood as an exchange post for soldiers at Camp Blanding during World War II. It was moved here, I understand, maybe 2 pieces, which is hard to imagine it going all that way in 2 pieces, but it's moved to the current site in the 1950s, and it started out as a movie theater, I think Mr. Perryman owned, for that community to have a place to see the movies. Well, it became a music venue called the Cotton Club, and many African-American performers came here back in the 50s and 60s, known as what was known as the Chitlin Circuit at that time, where black performers performed in clubs that were primarily black. Well, it became more integrated at times, I understand, because the college students thought that that was where the music was, and they wanted to be a part of that. So they often went there as well, and it became really a gem in the community. But then it fell into some disrepair over time. And then Vivian, along with a team, takes a team, and Vivian acknowledges that. It's not just Ms. Vivian Filer. She's a driving force, but she knows it takes collaboration. She brought together many people that are some here today, and worked to bring that to fruition, that building that was ready to be torn down, basically, to something that beautiful and new and exciting for our community to share the culture and history of our community. Despite all the, as I mentioned, despite all the attention, Vivi's quick to say that while the spotlight often shines on me, it's the people around her who deserve recognition for the work they do to help preserve the history. She also loves collaboration in the community, any collaborations where they can help move things forward. And so as this year's E.T. and Vam York Service Above Self recipient, Vivian becomes a Paul Harris Fellow, as I mentioned today. She becomes a Paul Harris Fellow, and $1,000 will be awarded to the Rotary Foundation, Rotary International, to assist Rotary with the good works throughout the world. An inscription of Vivian Filer's name will be the newest name added to a permanent plaque out at the Gainesville Airport, which recognizes all the Service Above Self awardees. We also look forward to personally presenting Vivian with an additional award at a later date. As I'm sure you can see, Mrs. Vivian Filer has touched and inspired so many lives in our community and continues to do so. and we are forever changed for the better because of her compassion and service. She is truly a model of service above self. Congratulations, Miss Vivian Lee Washington Filer. And Vivian, I don't know if you care to make any remarks at this point. I wasn't sure if you were up for that today, but I hope you know there's a lot of love in this room for you and a lot of respect and recognition. So
Am I unmuted?
Yeah, we can see you. Yes.
Oh, okay. I hadn't planned to make remarks. I am in a rehab center recovering from the RSV virus, so my voice isn't very good. I am so honored. I am so very honored to be given this award today because, of course, I never expected it, but I consider it a very high achievement to be listed among the people who've already received it. And so I am grateful to the Rotary for giving this to me. I'm grateful for the work that the Rotary does. I only have two things that I have to admonish you for, Greg, and that is for telling me I didn't have to show, so I don't have on lipstick. And the second is, where in the world did you find that picture that you're showing? Having said those things, everybody knows that I can't end without having my say. So for all of those who have attended today, for my family, my sister who is online from New York, my sister who's there in the audience with you, the board of directors who really do the work at the museum, and for all of those who've helped me all through life to do the work that I've been so honored to be a part of, I thank you. I thank you for considering me and for coming up with me over all of the other people in this great city of ours who always do great things. So to be in the group with the Freemans, who are my great friends, and others whom I know, Liz Zagel and all of those, I am really, like the old folks say, stepping in high cotton. So thank you very much.
Well, Vivian, thank you so much, and I'm glad you were able to you always bring such classy, just amazing feel to whenever you speak. I can't find the words, but I'm so pleased you were able to speak today, and we will be presenting you with that additional award at a later date. And so I think with that, I'm going to turn it back over to President Linda. Thank you.
All right. Congratulations again, Vivian, for your award. And thank you all for being here today, especially past recipients. It's always great to see your faces again, and thank everyone for all the wonderful work you've done in this community. It really makes Gainesville such a special place to be. That, I just want to remind you guys, next week is our auction for Sustainable Cambodia. So please come get your guests. You're welcome to come back next week if you'd like to come back. It's going to be a great time. We've got some wonderful, wonderful auction items, and it's for such a good cause. Our quote of the day: the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. And that would be Mahatma Gandhi. And then our drawing, Rotary Reading Safari drawing today, the number is 922. 922. With that, our meeting is adjourned.